I had been trying to take a nap, but the boat really was shaking bad. I gave up on sleeping and went up onto the deck. I was welcomed by the shining sun and a strong sea breeze. Up on the deck, Amakusa was doing some stretches. He probably has a lot of time on his hands too. It'll still take a while longer to reach Niijima. It would have only taken on the order of half an hour by airplane, but there was a chance that the Sumadera's net extended over Niijima Airport. The harbor would probably be the same. For that reason, I had obtained a boat that would let me land while avoiding the harbor, with no questions asked. I'd bumped into a cheery boat captain, treated him with generosity, and he had decided to help me out, amused.
まだだいぶかかるの？
さっき船長に聞いたら、あと2時間はたっぷりかかるそうです。ま、贅沢は言えねえですな。
いいお天気ね。焼けちゃいそう。
甲板で読書ですか？本が傷みますよ。
Amakusa apparently got that idea because I was clutching Maria One-chan's diary under my arm. I'd been reading it as I tried to fall asleep, which was why I had come back up, still carrying it.
どうですか？
Thunberg Lily.
マリアさんの日記から六軒島の真相は探れそうですかい？
さあ、あの島で何があったかなんてどこまで調べても仮説でしかない。メッセージボトルもお姉ちゃんの日記も魔女が闊歩するおとぎ話が記されているだけで何も真実を語らない。お手上げよ。
新島での関係者からの聞き込みに期待するしかないですな。
ウィッチハンターどもが散々質問攻めにしてるでしょうから、きっと真実なんて見つからないわよ。
Or if they even want to talk to you after being pestered for so long.
そこまで期待してないのに半日も船旅をして新島に行こうなんて実に気まぐれなことです。
I mean, they might talk to Ange because she is a member of that family, but at the same time, there is a possibility that they would not want to talk with Ange because of how much they've been pestered over the years about the incident, since they're involved in some way. Interesting.
調べたっていう自己満足のための旅みたいなものよ。本気で12年前の真実が解き明かせるなんて私も甘えてるつもりはないわ。
その自己満足が終わったらどうするつもりで？
さあ、考えてないわ。新島に行って関係者に話を聞いて、最後に六軒島に行って花でも捧げたら私の旅はおしまいね。
Several days had already passed since this journey began. After being told by a burned castle on the roof of that building to search for the truth of 12 years ago, I left on a journey akin to trying to grasp a cloud. At the time, I felt something mystical about it, and I remember feeling as if I might be able to grasp some kind of miracle at the end of this journey. But several days are enough to bring a person back down from that high. As I stood on the roof of that skyscraper that day, my heart had nowhere left to go. It was completely dead. Wanting from the bottom of my heart to be released from the cage of my body and rise into the sky, I crossed the fence in order to die. Maybe experiencing the desire to die and actually stepping forwards, throwing my body down, caused some kind of mystical experience inside my head, making me think I had received a message from a witch. The more the excitement from jumping down lessened over time, and the more I came back to my senses, the more this journey lost its meaning. But I never considered suspending this journey just because of that. If I stopped this journey, it would mean acknowledging that the message from that witch was an illusion. And I felt as if that meant throwing away the promise the witch had made, and any chance that someone from my family might come back. So I'm continuing this journey because I want to believe in that illusion. I don't seriously believe that this journey will change anything. I am even free to end it at any time. It's up to me to choose where the final destination is. In the end, this journey is only for my personal self-satisfaction.
Jiko manzokuか。聞こえは悪いですが、そいつが実は人生ってやつではないかと思ってます。
傭兵家業で視線をくぐった末に至った答えだったなら、なかなか味わい深いじゃない。
茶化さんでください。俺が言いたいのは、自己も何も自分を認められるのは世の中で自分だけしかいないってことです。
Damn. That's actually a pretty deep line. Amakusa continued stretching as he spoke, in an annoyingly eloquent way. Hearing it told to me as though from a teacher made me instinctively want to resist. But what he was saying was extremely sensible.
そうかもね。
Well then, BP.
人は誰かに認められたくて努力をするわ。多くの場合、それは親ね。親に褒められたくて子供は努力を覚える。だから私は覚えなかったわけだけど。
すんません。そういうつもりで言ったんじゃないです。俺が言いたいのは、自己満足大いに結構ってことなんです。誰に褒められたって、それを納得できなきゃ意味がない。逆を返しゃ、誰に褒められなくったって自分が納得できりゃそれでいいってことです。
自己満足と向上心って矛盾するから、普通は悪いことって教えられるわよね。天草の論法はなんだか新鮮よ。
誰かに認めてほしくて、だけれど何を努力すればいいのかわからないのが人の世の苦しみです。俺にもそういう頃があった。誰かに認められたくて、でも何を認められればいいかわからなくて、そして何をどこまで努力すれば誰に認めてもらえるかわからなくて、随分と無茶苦茶をやってきたもんです。
Like getting banned from France.
それで天草が至った答えが自己満足だっていうの？
聞こえは悪いがそういうことです。我ただ樽を知るってやつですわ。俺がこれでいいと思った人生なら、それはとやかく言われてどうこうってもんじゃない。エンジェさんの人生もこの旅も同じです。エンジェさん以外の誰にもとやかく言う権利なんてない。旅の意味と成果はエンジェさんだけが決める。エンジェさんにとって有意義な旅になったなら、それで十分なんですよ。
あんたってちゃらけてる男だと思ってたけど、たまに変なこと言い出すのね。そういうことたまに言うとモテると思ってるでし
ょ。まさかまさか、そんなつもりで言ったんじゃありません。どうやらお一人になりたいようだ。俺は船長のところへ行っていますぜ。どうぞごゆっくり。
It seemed Amakusa had decided I was in a bad mood, although I didn't feel that way myself. Maybe he just finished a set of stretches and wanted to cool off in the shade. The sea winds were strong, but not enough to take the edge off the rays of the sun. Amakusa disappeared. Only I remained.
自己満足こそが人生か。
Did everything become slightly darker? Or is that a trick of the light? No, trick of the light.
そんなのつまらないです。
Hey, Mammon. How you doing, Mammon?
人生はどこまでも強欲でなくっちゃ。
Cage. I noticed that Mammon had suddenly appeared, her full hair streaming out in the wind by the prow of the ship.
強欲な人生は確かに楽しいわ。でもあなたと違って人間には寿命がある。永遠に強欲のままだったなら、人は死ぬ最後の瞬間にも欲があることになる。欲があるということはつまり欲しいということ、持っていないということ、満たされていないということ。自分が満たされていると思えないまま死ぬのはきっと辛いことよ。だからきっと自己満足って必要なんだわ。
なるほど。寿命ある存在にはそういう妥協点も必要ってことですか。私たちの主はやたらと寿命の長いお方ばかりだったんで考えたこともなかったです。
人間ってのは満たされるために生きてるのかしら。だとしたら無欲が一番人生に優しいことになるわ。なるほど。7つの大罪の一つが強欲になるのも納得ね。
お褒めに預かり光栄です。
Apparently, that counted as praise in Mammon's eyes. She turned and gave a graceful curtsy.
エンジ様、人間は死の瞬間に満足であるために生きてるんですか。
死の瞬間に何かが満たされていないのはきっと辛いんじゃない。
だとしたら人間は満足な死を迎えるためだけに生きてるわけですね。より良い死のために生きてる。死ぬために生きてる。
Wow. That's a hell of a thing to say. Yes, I should have expected that from a demon steak. However, her words might be the truth. Humans suffer because they aren't whole, and live only to be made whole. That might be the same, in other words, as the desire to die while alone, whole. God dang it! Wow! I'm just gonna keep on reading. Oh my god, that was a bad misread.
言い返せないわ。人は満たされるために生きてる。そして満たされたまま死にたいと願ってる。だからその満たされ方がわからないのはとても辛いことだわ。
どうやれば満たされるんです？人間の人生は。
認めてもらうことよ。お前は幸せだってね。
誰が認めてもいいものでしたら私が認めてあげますよ。
そうよ、そこなのよ。誰に認めてもらえばいいのかわからないのよ、人は。
その認めてくれる人を探すのが人生の旅なんですか。へえ。
おかしな話ね。認めてもらおうと認めてもらわなかろうと自分の境遇に変化はないはず。にもかかわらず認められれば満たされ、認められないから満たされない。まるで青い鳥だわ。カゴの中にもう青い鳥はいるのに、それに気づけないからどこまでも探しに旅立たなければならない。
何ですかそれ。人間の人生ってバカですね。
そうね。天草は本当にいいことを言ったわ。我ただ樽を知るか。何のことわざか知らないけど味わい深いわ。つまるところ、誰かに認めてもらわなければ満ち足りないとは、すなわち自らを認められないということ。究極の自己実現はまず自分を自分で認めることだったのよ。
そりゃそうです。自分が満ち足りてるって自覚できるなら誰にも認めてもらう必要なんかないですから。その小さなことに気づくだけで人間のくだらない人生の旅は簡単に終了ですね。残った時間を有意義に遊んで過ごせます。人間の人生ってバカバカしい。
Mammon's choice of words was bad, but it was surely the truth. If most of a human's life is a journey wishing for someone's acceptance so that they can achieve a satisfied death, then the moment they realize that the person to accept them is not someone else, but them themselves, they can end that pointless journey. Humans who have finished that journey can probably spend the rest of their lives as they wish, with their heads held high. How sublime, how praiseworthy would that be?
天草ってさ、親とはかなり仲が悪いらしいのよ。そりゃそうよね。まっとうな親なら足を洗わせたいと願うような商売だもの。
別にいいんじゃない？本人が楽しいなら。
全くよね。結局はそういうことなのよ。他人が観測した自分の評価なんかどうでもいいこと。自分の存在を自分自身がしっかり認められたならそれで十分なのよ。自分に自信を持って生きられるならどんな生活だって受け入れて納得できるに違いない。
This can be good advice, but also it can be terrible advice to live by. It can be a little bit of both. Like, finding satisfaction for yourself is good. Though, if you do it fully, it can kind of lead to, let's just say, problematic sorts of things. I won't go too much into this subject that's being brought up in the game, but I can definitely see the upsides and downsides to, living for self-satisfaction for yourself. Like, it's a good thing, but also it can be relatively harmful depending on what kind of lifestyle you find to be satisfying at the time when you're, living by the self-satisfaction philosophy. Huh.
天草はきっといつか戦場で流れ弾を食らって大怪我をするでしょうよ。あるいは死ぬことさえあるかもしれない。でも天草はそれを理不尽とは思わないと思う。それも人生とあいつはケラケラ笑ってるような気がするの。
いい生き様じゃない。惚れるわ。
自分で自分を認められない哀れな人間は生涯それを求めてさまよい、何も受け入れられず不平不満だけを口にし満たされないまま死んでいく。哀れだわ。何の目的もなくダラダラと生きてる連中に比べたらやがてのだれ死にするかもしれないけれど、自分の人生に胸を張っている天草の方がよっぽど高潔なのよ。
人生悟ったものの勝ちってことじゃない？少しでも早く悟れればその分有効に残りの人生が過ごせてお得よね。
At those words of Mammon's, I finally came to terms with a certain fact. I had described her as an abnormal kid, a little strange. However, that wasn't the case. She had simply finished that journey faster than anyone else, and taught herself to keep her own chin up and live with confidence. Oh, is she talking about Maria or Mammon?
だからマリアお姉ちゃんは
Yeah.
すごかったのかもしれない。
Eternity. She's talking about Maria.
彼女は小学校低学年になるかならないかという年齢のうちにそれに至ったのよ。
Other people like us, looking at her life from the outside, couldn't call it happy by any standard. But even though such days were engraved in her diary, The entries always finished up by saying that it was a happy day. Even though you can catch a glimpse of her mother's lack of love for her, in spite of that, she believed that her mother did love her. The mother's love that didn't exist, she created herself, filling her world with love. Others observed her as an unfulfilled, pitiful girl, but she told herself that she was fulfilled and accepted herself how she was. And so, she was happy that way. It's easy to observe that something as pitiful and sad. I'm gonna repeat that, I didn't like the tone I used. It's easy to observe that as something pitiful and sad. Pitiable. How do you pronounce that word? Hold on. I'll just look it up on my phone. Pitiable. Oh! So it's pronounced as pitiable. It's easy to observe that as something pitiable and sad. But to her, that was an outsider's opinion, and didn't matter in the slightest. The only important thing was whether or not this was happiness to her. It's just like how, when people who live in the city point to the lifestyles of those in the country, and lament the inconvenience and feel sympathy for them, it's really just misplaced kindness. If those who live there are satisfied with what they have, that's more than enough.
私、ようやく気づいたわ。今気づいた。マリアお姉ちゃんにひどいことをしたのよ。あの日に、あなたたちにも、サクタロウにも。
Oh. Okay, I'm actually surprised that Ange is apologizing for that this early in the game. I thought it was going to be towards the end of the game or something, but no, she's actually apologizing for that early. Interesting.
それを決めるのは他人じゃないわ。自分よ。マリアお姉ちゃんにとって魔法があるかないかはマリアお姉ちゃんが決めるべき問題で、私が決めることじゃない。
Interesting.
なのに私は幼いあの日口にしてしまった。魔法なんてあるわけないって彼女を傷つけてしまった。
Wow. You know what? I'm gonna have to applaud Ange for realizing how much she hurt Maria and the stakes. Though, of course... Exactly, okay, she did do something that really hurt them. But of course, it was at a time where she was in a very tough situation, so I can understand why she did what she did. But the way she hurt the stakes and Maria, I must admit, it's just... I hate saying this, especially what was going on at the scene for Ange. I hate saying this, but she kind of did do something pretty terrible to them. Like, it's tough for me to say that because I really do feel bad for Ange, and I really understand why she did what she did, and of course, I don't blame her for it. It's just that she really did hurt Maria and the stakes, so... I'm really happy that she's apologizing for what she did. Though I'm surprised by how quick she's apologizing. To say that she's in the wrong would be unfair to Ange, so I'm not going to say that she's in the wrong. She did do something bad to Maria and the stakes, but it's perfectly understandable why she acted the way she did within the context of the situation that was going on. So, I don't blame Ange. I do admit she did do something bad, but I'm not saying that she's in the exact wrong. I know this is a very neutral way of approaching that scene from 2 chapters ago about her killing the stakes. That is a very neutral view, but everyone in that situation lost. And it's, yeah, damn. Damn. Episode 4 has really good writing. I'm saying this now. Episode 4 has superb writing. And yes, this is the first time I've ever used superb in my, actual verbal dictionary. I impress myself sometimes. To me, magic doesn't exist. But that's my world. Denying One-chan's world as well, just because of that, was totally barking up the wrong tree.
マリアージュ・ソルシエルはマリアお姉ちゃんの作った魔女同盟。
Wait, Maria created it? I guess that makes sense. I didn't even realize that Maria made it.
私はそれに誘われて一緒に魔女になろうと言われたの。新しい面白い遊びだと思って私はしばらくの間それに付き合ったわ。でも幼さゆえの残酷さ、途中で飽きてしまった。そして鋭利な言葉で彼女の純粋無垢な心を切り裂いてしまったの。あの時大喧嘩をしたはず。私はすぐに忘れてしまったけれど彼女には忘れられないものだった。なぜなら彼女にとって魔法は確かに存在する自然な力で、それは私とも共有できると信じていたから。マリアお姉ちゃんにとって魔法は世界を幸福に解釈できる、いえ全てを幸福にできるまさに魔法の力だった。それを私にもお裾分けしたかっただけ。その気持ちを幼い私が引き裂いた。だから彼女は誰とも魔法は分かり合えないと殻の中に閉じこもってしまったのよ。
だとしたらマリア卿もやはり人生の旅は終わってないわけね。自分に納得できてるならエンジ様に否定されたくらいでへこむ必要なんてないわけだし。
お姉ちゃんは幼かった。天草みたいな達観にはまだ至ってなかったのよ。はあ、だからこそわかるわ。マリアージュ・ソルシエルという魔女同盟がなぜ必要なのか。
An alliance where each accepts that the other is a witch.
そうよ。それが確かマリアージュ・ソルシエルの取り決めの第一条だった気がする。同盟の魔女は互いを魔女と認め尊敬し合うことって、それこそが魔女同盟の一番の、そして唯一の意味なのよ。
Maria One-chan wanted to share with me the secret laws for making the world happy, called magic. But I was young, and she was too. I hurt her with innocent cruelty.
私はあの日に言ったわ、暴言を。あなたたちやサク太郎に存在するわけがないって。
失礼しちゃうわ。私たちが存在するって自らを認めてる。魂が寝ぼけてる人間どもとはわけが違うのよ。我を思うゆえに我あり。魔法を認めようと否定しようと、私たち煉獄の七姉妹という魔法が存在することはゆえに事実。エンジ様の言葉を借りるなら、私たちが自らをそう認めている限り。
それを他者である私が否定するのはまさに暴力だわ。それはきっと実の母にお前なんか生まれてこなければよかったと、いいえ消えてしまえと怒鳴りつけられるくらいにね。
Even after being slammed by all those words, Maria One-chan's magic made her believe in her mother's love. Sakutaro, her magic friend, always encouraged her. He kept saying that her mother loved her that she was coming home late because of her work, and that she would definitely bring back a present. Even after Maria learned the fact that it really wasn't because of work, magic still kept her believing that. So by believing that her mother loved her, by accepting herself, she filled her world with love and peace and serenity, and established it perfectly.
12年前に何があったのか、私の家族がどうなったのか、それを探る旅じゃなかったのよ、これは。
ならこの旅は何なの？
マリアお姉ちゃんにあの日のことを謝る旅だったのよ。どうしてかわからないけどそう思うの。あの日彼女を傷つけなければ12年前の事件は起こらなかったんじゃないかって、そう思う。
Yeah, I was about to say that. But is there a possibility? Would there be a possibility? I mean, Maria definitely has to be somewhat involved with the main culprit with all the stuff she talks about witches, but... Oh, I'm actually, pulling out some of my, peak theories I've been saving for the end of this episode, but you know what? I'm just gonna say this now. Maria has to be somewhat involved. That's one thing I do want to point out. I think Maria has to somewhat be involved. Even though she may not be a culprit herself. Well, she might be assisting the culprit, so she technically is a culprit, since she's assisting them, and she's knowing that she's assisting them. I won't go into that right now, but I know that Maria is somewhat involved with the overarching culprit, but I just cannot figure out how. And, this new thing of Ange being partially responsible for what might have happened 12 years ago? I mean, that could make sense, but also at the same time, why would it make sense? That's the trouble I'm having right now. Ange's denial of magic, many years before the incident on Rokujima. I can't figure out how. I can't figure out how that could have, caused that to all to happen. I mean, it could make sense in Revelations in the answer arcs, maybe, but I don't understand right now how that could make sense. So that's probably something that I can't answer until I actually get to the answer arcs. But it's still a very interesting thing to try to think of an explanation, but I got nothing. So I'm gonna keep on playing the game and shut up now. I have no basis for it. I don't have a clue how hurting One-chan would be connected to that mysterious incident several years later. But for some reason, I can't imagine that there is no connection. A witch caused that incident. I'm gonna read that. A witch caused that incident. And the culprit is the Golden Witch, Beatrice. And Beatrice was part of the Mariage Sorcière Alliance of Witches. I had horribly hurt the other witch of that alliance. I had hurt her by saying that magic doesn't exist. And that's why, several years later, an inexplicable crime by a witch occurred. And that 2-day period, which can't be explained with anything but magic, was thrust in my face via a message bottle.
きっと私は無関係じゃないのよ。わからない。偶然かもしれないし、運命かもしれない。なぜかこの旅で私はそう思うようになったわ。
根拠は？
ないわ。勝手にそう思ってるだけ。
日本人って面白いわね。被害者であっても自分に非があったように感じて勝手に謝り出す。家族を奪ったベアトリーチ様憎しって言うなら理解もできるけど、勝手に非を感じて謝りたくなってくるなんて 本当に変わってるわ。
もちろんベアトリーチェは憎いわよ。その気持ちがなければこの旅は続かないわ。でも旅にもう一つ目的を見出してもいい。12年前の魔女に復讐する旅に、さらに昔の罪を謝罪する目的を加えたっていいんだわ。六軒島に行ってあの日の暴言を詫び、花を手向けることくらいはできる。いえ、花よりもっといいものがあるわ。そしてその方がお姉ちゃんにはふさわしいと思う。
I stood up, and ignoring my hair being blown about by the sea breeze, I concentrated my mind. I lifted my palms up to the height of my head and imagined the vast space.
エンジ様？
静かに。
She even made the wind go quiet!
さあさあ、おいでなさい。我こそは魔女見習い、エンジ・ベアトリーチェ。破門にされてはしまったけれど、かつて同じ同盟に所属し、私と遊んでくれた懐かしき家具よ。我が呼びかけに応じよ。
It was hard to tell in the middle of the day, but a faint blue light gathered around the palms of my hands. Then, I revived Sakutaro's form. It truly was long missed, that figure. His cute ears, his bright red scarf. It came off easily, so Hone-chan faithfully rewrapped it all the time, didn't she?
サクタロ？
Did he get revived in the character sheet? Oh my god. The stakes! Oh my god, I didn't realize the stakes were on here. Were they on here before? Oh my god. Wow, I didn't know the stakes were on here. Oh my gosh. Sakutaro. Maria Hone-chan's precious friend. Very simple, warm, and kind. His speech quirk is, "Are you?" I remember Maria Hone-chan used to say it a lot too. Wait, is Sakutaro still dead in which side though? Yes, he is. He's still dead in the witch side. Huh. And also, I realized something while editing a video. I think Linda Delta and Burn Castle's character sheets have changed. Did Beatrice's, no, she didn't change, but Linda Delta and Burn Castle, their character sheets have changed, so I'm gonna read them real quick. Lambda Delta, the Witch of Serenity, who has lived for 1,000 years. She is using Beatrice's game, like a bird cage, to imprison Burn Castle. Her objective is an eternal draw. Takes Beatrice's side most of the time, but supports Battler when he looks like he's about to drop out. Conversely, when Beatrice starts to get cornered, she supports Beatrice. Endless is merely infinite idle repetition. Serenity, on the other hand, indicates a far stronger absolute force of will. Burn Castle, the Witch of Miracles who has lived for 1,000 years, sent in a piece called Ange to defeat Beatrice in our game. The Voyager witches who cross the sea of fragments are far higher-level beings than witches who cannot leave their own territory. In territory, they are equals, but fundamentally, her magic power far exceeds Beatrice's. What is it that witches who voyage constantly and escape from boredom seek from their journeys? Let's continue on to saying hello to Sakutaro once more.
わかる？私たちがわかる？おりょおりょ
So.
マモンエンジェ
With a sleepy face, as though waking up from a long slumber, Sakutaro looked all around him as he spoke.
久しぶりね、作太郎。あなたを私の力で呼び出すのは、きっとこれが初めてだわ。そして今や、私にしか呼び出せない。
ブリュー。
Those words might have been a bit cruel. Sakutaro's face clouded over.
かつての私は、あなたを否定した。その私があなたを呼び出したということは、あなたの存在を、私が認めたということ。
いいの？僕は、エンジェの世界に呼び出されてもいいの？
His eyes were slightly frightened. It was only natural. I, who had played with him like a friend before, had one day suddenly denied him and tried to burn him with the anti-magic toxin. It was only natural that he was scared.
謝るわ。あの日のこと。マモンにも。そして、みんなにも。
I did not expect them to be there. I did not expect the stakes to be there. My girls. At some point, the rest of the seven sisters had gathered on the deck. No, they are there at all times, always by my side. As long as I accept that it's okay for them to be there,They will appear any time.
あなたたちは確かに存在するわ。
Oh man.
ルシファーも、レビアタンも、サタンも、ベルフェゴールも、マモンも、ベルゼブブも、アスモデウスも、そして、サク太郎も。
よろしいのですか？エンジェ様はベアトリーチェ様に挑もうというお方。魔女を否定される立場にあられるお方が、我らを認めてもよろしいのですか？
私の世界にとって魔法が存在するかどうかは悪いけど保留させてもらうわ。私自身が魔法の存在を認めたわけじゃない。
なのに我らを認めるという矛盾はどういうことです？
I was about to jokingly say magic, but that would go against everything what Angie's saying.
魔法は信じる人には存在するってことよ。私が信じなくても誰かが信じたならその人の世界には魔法が存在するわ。
Oh?
それは私が魔法を信じたって信じなくたって何の干渉も受けない。いいえ、受けてはいけないのよ。その誰かは胸を張って自らの魔法を信じればいいのよ。そして私はそれを認める。だからあなたたちが存在しても全然おかしくはないのよ。
なかなかの詭弁ですが面白い解釈かと。エンジェ様のそれは悪魔の証明そのものでしょう。
悪魔の証明？
だって悪魔の存在を証明するには悪魔を連れてくればいいけれど、悪魔の存在を否定することだけは不可能だから
そして私たちはここにいる。つまりそれはエンジェ様が魔法を信じようと信じまいと私たちの存在は揺るがないということ。
So maybe Santa Claus is still real even after I killed so many kids' dreams back when I was younger. Using this logic. I think Santa might be a different thing. I think Santa might be a different entity than witches and demons. Though he might still exist. In capitalist commercials.
無流エンジから半魔法の毒が消えていく。
本当だわ。魔法を否定する立場なのにどうして。
それは多分尊重し認めるという心を知ってからだわ。今の私にならアリアお姉ちゃんの、そしてベアトリーチェの魔法の深淵も理解できるかもしれない。
Wow. In the past, I insisted that I didn't believe in things like magic. That something like that couldn't exist. I acted like I had my eyes tightly shut and couldn't see anything. But now I'm different. I get the feeling I can look right at the thing called magic and close in on its true nature.
惜しいわ。この現代にこれだけ半魔法の毒素の抜けた人間なんて本当に稀よ。魔女に向いた稀有な才能なのに。
そうね。今のエンジェ様が魔女を目指してくださったならベアトリーチェ様に及ぶかもしれない大魔女に成長されたかもしれないのに。
それでも我らの存在を認めてくださった我らの主である。おそらくエンジェ様が我らの最後の主となるだろう。最後の奉公と思い尽力しようではないか。
Hell yeah!
なのにエンジ様自身がまだ魔法を信じてくれないのが納得いかない。エンジ様、ついでに魔法も認めてくださいよ。せっかくの主なのに魔女じゃないなんてなんだかもったいない。
最高の魔女になれる逸材なのにその目的が魔女を撃つことだなんて惜しいです。まあそれもエンジ様の人生で生き方でそうと決めた世界ならばそれは私たちにとやかく口出しできることではないわけですが。
私を理解してくれてありがとう。そうね、魔法が私にとって存在するかどうか、それは私が決めることだわ。世界のどこかに魔法が実在したとしてもしなかったとしてもね。
Oh my god. I don't know why I'm so happy for Ange coming to this realization. I didn't even think that this could be a realization. I didn't even think of this. Oh my god. I didn't actually think this, could have been something that could be, thought up of for, what could be, an outcome of what's going on in Umineko. She denies magic, but she could respect a possibility of its existence and that people, want to believe in it. She can respect people believing in it, even though she doesn't believe it in herself. She believes and respects the belief of it. This might be a little bit too early to declare this, but Ange is climbing up the ranks of my favorite character. You know what? Almost everyone in Rudolph's family, well, Rudolph's direct family, I like. I like Balor, I love Kyrie, I like Ange, and Rudolph is a guilty pleasure yeah. Rudolph is a guilty pleasure I'm gonna be honest here. I like Rudolph as a character. He kind of just seems like more the fun person of the family, and I have to say, I kind of like his character. He's brutally honest, and he's kind of like the funny uncle sort of person. I'm sorry, but Rudolph is a guilty pleasure to me. So yes, almost everyone in Rudolph's family I like in some sort of way. Rudolph, guilty pleasure. Balor, probably one of the best boys. Ange, probably one of the best girls. And Kyrie is my favorite fucking character. I'm announcing it now. Right now, Kyrie is my fucking favorite character of Umineko. Though, of course, I'm gonna have to wait till the end of the answer arcs to fully decide who my all-time favorite character is of Umineko. But as of the moment, Kyrie is my favorite. Kyrie has become my favorite character. Let's get back to the game. When I think about it, the world is so vast, and yet so small. billions of people who live on the Earth. But I probably won't meet even 1% of those people. Even so, I will speak of the world. Without knowing even 1% of the world, I will speak of my world.
私が知らない世界の法則を私に否定する資格なんてない。だから私の世界に魔法が存在しないからといって私の知らない世界に魔法が存在することまでを否定することはできない。まさに悪魔の証明というわけだが、いえ、業に入り手は業に従えというべきかしら。
I can be confident in the world I know. So even if my world is denied by a complete stranger who doesn't know a thing about it, that's nothing to worry about. And in the same way, just because I don't know another world, that doesn't make me qualified to deny it.
だから私は自分の世界に魔法があるかないかを問わずにマリアお姉ちゃんが教えてくれた魔法を否定することなんてできやしない。
無理だって見たことがなくても魔法は存在するんだもん。
ええ、だからすでに言っている通り魔女同盟マリアージュ・ソルシエルの友人であるあなたたちの存在もまた私にもそして誰にも否定することなんてできないわけ。
I proclaim the most important part again. Even though the sea breeze and the crashing of the waves were noisy, it was a time of silence. Both Sakutaro and the Seven Sisters of Purgatory reflected upon my words. And, probably, I did too. Does magic exist or not? Do witches exist or not? I reflected on the fact that, while knowing what the answer was within my world, I declared openly that I would accept their existence, despite it being a contradiction.
ありがとう、エンジェ。
そこまでお認めになったなら魔女もお認めになって。いえ、愚問でした。その問いに対する答えをすでにエンジェ様は明確にお持ちだ。
ごめんね。魔女がこの世界のどこかにいるかもしれないことを私は認めるけれど、でも私の世界は揺るがない。
魔女も魔法も認めない。六軒島の真実は必ず暴いてみせるでしょ。
ええ、それが私の世界よ。仮に本当に魔女が存在したとしても私の世界では認めないわ。当の魔女にどれだけ言い寄られたとしてもね。
Which leads her to her battle with Valor.
エンジェ様のお立場は魔女を撃つこと。そしてそのお気持ちにいささかの揺らぎもないこと、よくわかりました。我らはエンジェ様の家具、煉獄の七姉妹。いつでもおそばにお役に立てる日が来るのをいつまでもお待ち申し上げております。
エンジ様が魔法を信じてくれない以上話し相手くらいにしかなれないけれど、
今は十分よ。私たちに存在できる余地を残してくださった。それだけで私たちはエンジェ様に感謝し認めるべきだわ。
つまり私たちはまたみんなといられるんだね。サクタロー、モフモフさせて。
As Sakutaro was overcome with emotion and tears came to his eyes, the Seven Sisters closed in and mobbed him. They were also celebrating a long-awaited reunion. Because they were granted permission to exist, they can exist here without doubt. No, they can exist even if I don't permit it. Because I accepted them, they show their reunion's joy to me as well. As I watch over that scene, I reflected on the meaning of this journey of mine.
十分ですよ。私たちは家具呼び出してもらえるだけで、おそばにいることを許されるだけで嬉しいのですから。ウリュウ、エンジェ、本当にありがとう。
そういえば、どうして私には作太郎が呼び出せたのかしら。いいえ、逆ね。どうしてお姉ちゃんには作太郎が呼び出せなかったのかしら。
Oh. Maria One-chan had despaired, thinking that Sakutaro had died, which told me that she hadn't been able to summon him like this anymore. In the past, One-chan said it was more advantageous in a summoning to have a vessel. However, a vessel is like training wheels, and it shouldn't be absolutely necessary. In other words, even if the stuffed animal lion that was Sakutaro's vessel didn't exist, it should have been possible to summon him. In fact, for that matter, it's a little doubtful whether summoned beings even have the concept of life and death. Moreover, Sakutaro was an especially important friend to Maria One-chan. She should have been able to strive hard to summon him one more time. It certainly was sad that the original stuffed animal vessel had been torn apart. But why he was dead, and why couldn't she summon him again?
それは、マリアがあの時、僕のぬいぐるみが破れたのを見て。
Moon. That's the song that's playing right now. Moon.
僕が死んでしまったと決めてしまったから。
魔法の存在と同じなんです。マリア教の世界で作太郎が死んでしまったことになったなら、彼女の世界では作太郎は存在できない。
Yeah, I was actually thinking that was the likely answer.
ウリュウ。
The shock of having her beloved stuffed animal torn apart had left a wound in her heart serious enough to prevent her from ever again summoning her irreplaceable close friend. In Maria One-chan's eyes, Sakutaro had died. So even if Sakutaro could exist like this to me, he could not exist before her.
僕はいつもマリアと一緒にいたんだよ。泣いてるマリアのすぐ近くで、泣かないでってずっと言ってたんだよ。でも、マリアには僕の姿も声も何も届かなくて。
Sakutaro hung his head, looking sad.
マリアージュ・ソルシエルはあの事件の後、急に性格を変えていくの。それまでの同盟は和やかなものだった。でも事件後は憎い誰かをいかにして呪うかという物騒なものばかり。お姉ちゃんの日記はあからさまに様変わりしていく。
A diary is a mirror that reflects one's heart as it is. It probably showed the personality called Maria die. And be reborn. Oh, okay, that makes sense now. Oh, oops. Okay, I didn't understand what direction that sentence was. Okay, let me reread that. It probably showed the personality called Maria die. And be reborn has the evil witch personality, Maria. As she filled the diary with hatred and sadness, her heart surely was not fulfilled. Because she wasn't fulfilled, she had no choice but to fill it with hatred and sadness. And while still unfulfilled, she met with death. I wonder if her unfulfilled soul has a hole opened in its chest from sadness even now. And continually wanders, tears dripping down and calling Sakutaro's name.
あなたがお姉ちゃんには必要なのよ。
ウリュウ。
どうしたらあなたをマリアお姉ちゃんの世界で蘇らせられるの？その方法がわかれば、私はお姉ちゃんを救うことができる。それが私に課せられた贖罪の方法なのよ。どうすればサクタロウは蘇るの？
マリアにとって僕のよりしろは特に重要な意味を持ってたから。
よりしろ、つまりライオンのぬいぐるみを蘇らせることができれば。
でも僕のぬいぐるみはローザママの手作りだから、ローザママにしか作れない。
Even inside the diary, Maria One-chan had asked this of Beatrice, and had been refused for the same reason. The magical significance of a stuffed animal being unique and handmade is very large. Then, if we can make... Why did Bandicam suddenly, disappear? That's not good. I'm no longer recording. Did the file save? No. No. Are you fucking serious, man? Are you fucking serious? Did I actually lose? I'm hoping that I can fix this file, because I'm gonna be very upset that if it, cannot be fixed. Can it fix? Wait, how long will it take to fix? Why is everything on my computer crashing? What the hell is happening? My computer broke. Oh my god damn it. Are you fucking serious, man? Okay, so the file was actually able to be fixed. Somehow, a corrupted file actually fixed itself. I was able to fix a corrupted file. I'm actually legitimately surprised that something good happened for once involving corrupted files. A corrupted file became uncorrupted. That's never heard of in the business of making videos. A corrupted file actually being fixed. So, yeah, even though I did fix the file, I'll have to skip back to the place where I was in this episode. Because, well, my computer kind of blue screened, so I lost my place. So I'll have to skip all the way back to where I was. Which, I'm almost there, actually. Even inside the diary, Maria One-chan had asked us of Beatrice, and had been refused for some reason. The magical significance of a stuffed animal being unique and handmade is very large. Then, if we can make the same thing once more. But Aunt Rosa is already gone from this world. We can never make the same thing again.
同じぬいぐるみをもう一つ作ってあったとか、そういうことはないの？
彼はマリア卿の誕生日プレゼントのために作られた世界でたった一つのぬいぐるみ。手作りでたった一つのよりしろなんです。だから大きな魔力を秘めているんです。そして失われたらもう二度と手に入らない。蘇らない。ウリュウ。
Maria One-chan knew that. So when she saw that stuffed animal, unique in the world, be torn apart, she despaired. Because it was a stuffed animal unique in the world. And it permitted her no compromises such as simply buying another. She despaired from the bottom of her heart.
でもサクタロウはここにいるわ。よりしろなんかなくてもここにいる。 私がそれを認めているから、私の世界では確かに存在する。マリアお姉ちゃんが認めなくても、それは否定できない。そうよね。
理屈ではそうですが、同じ理屈でマリア教にそれを認めさせることもまた困難かと思います。
マリア、僕は死んでないよ。ここにいるのに、ウリュウ。
きっと六軒島でマリアお姉ちゃんに私は再会できると思うの。そして私は何が何でもお姉ちゃんの中のあなたを蘇らせて再会させるわ。
できるの？
難しいでしょうね。魔女同盟に誘われた私が意味を理解できず拒絶してしまったのと同じように、彼女もまたあなたの存在を拒絶するかもしれない。でもやるしかないわ。それが私にできる唯一の罪滅ぼしなのよ。
エンジ様。
六軒島で何が待つのか、そして何が起こるのか、何ができるのか、あるいは何も起こらないのかもしれないけれど、全ての始まりであるあの島こそがこの旅の終着点なのよ。私はあなたたちを連れて魔女の家具であるあなたたちの主として魔女の島へ、六軒島へ帰らなければならない。
Even though the rays of the sun had been so strong, at some point clouds had started to hang over us. The spray hitting my cheek might not all be coming from the crashing waves.
エンジェさん、軽く一雨来そうですぜ。下へ降りた方がいいんじゃないですか?
You know, for some reason, the image of him squirting her with a squirt bottle came into my mind, for some reason. But no, it's actually a light shower, not Amakusa saying, "Hey Angie, I'm here. Take a look at my squirt bottle." I don't know why that image came into my head. Amakusa called out to me, with an expression of surprise that I was still here. When I looked up, I saw that the island silhouette had gotten much larger. We might reach land very soon. I remembered that the weather report had mentioned scattered rains. The sky wasn't dark enough for rain clouds. It'll probably be just for a short time. Even if the rain was light enough not to be a bother. Having rain start to fall as we approached the island felt like some kind of fate. It was probably raining on October 4th, 1986 as well. I was approaching the Rokenjima that day, and not just in distance. I went back down with Amakusa. Amakusa was carrying what looked like a quite large and heavy golf bag. It was something Amakusa had brought back from God knows where after we split up for a day. I wasn't going to inquire as to its contents, but it's hard to imagine that they're anything peaceful.
中身はあえて聞かないけど、重そうね。
どうしてこいつらは重くてかなわないのか。フランス人の教官が面白いことを教えてくれました。何でもこいつらは重くあるべきだそうなんです。何しろ人の命は地球より重いんですから。こいつらはもっと重くて叱るべきなんだとか。
使う機会がないといいわね。
ないといいですな。
Amakusa set the golf bag-like luggage down heavily beside him. Is that an airplane? A helicopter? Or is that the boat? Airplane. Airplane. A two-propeller aircraft touched down on the runway. With the weather in these conditions, it could not have been a pleasant flight. Everything after this flight had been suspended due to the weather. Over. Cutting through the drizzle as she traversed the runway, Sumadera Kasumi entered the lobby with two black suits as guards. The four black suits who had been waiting inside the lobby stood up and respectfully lowered their heads.
お疲れ様です。
プロペラ機ってのは揺れるわね。二度と乗りたくないわ。
お車を用意しております。どうぞこちらへ。
They went into two luxury cars that had been rented.
エンジェは六軒島へ向かうはずよ。無人島とは実に都合がいいわね。お道具は用意できてるんでしょうね。
The black suit in the passenger seat lifted a heavy bag that had been by his feet onto his lap, opened the zipper wide, and showed Kasumi the contents. Inside were several blocky objects wrapped tightly in silver aluminum foil. He peeled one open to show her. Out peeked a black, blunt automatic pistol. Oh shit. Umineko no Nakukura ni! Of course! Of course! Bandicam could have waited 10 fucking minutes the first day, October 4th, 1986, Ushirimiya Kenzo. But of course! Of course! It could have waited 10 minutes to crash!
Okay.